Well, what I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that he confirmed what they're saying is true. He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So basically, that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
Andrew Callaghan has a reputation of being an internet good guy. He claims to be a non-biased journalist with his finger on the pulse of society, when in reality, his fingers may be somewhere far more sinister. Now, I wasn't going to alert the defecation police when I heard stories of Andrew Callaghan covering an Airbnb with his own feces after a long night of alcohol, cocaine, and hookers, but the new allegations that have surfaced paint him in a far worse light. The internet's favorite vagabond is being accused of sexual coercion, manipulation, and assault by multiple women all across America. But before we get into the most recent allegations, let's take a look back at Andrew's history with being accused of sexual misconduct. The first time dates back to June 10th, 2020, when an Instagram user named Sophia posted on their story alleging they hung out with him and he was trying so hard to F my drunk friend who made it clear she said no. And that Andrew is a manipulative ass mother effer who was using his platform to get girls to sleep with him. This user then posted a story from another alleged victim that said this: "Yeah, he went to school with me my freshman year, R-worded an underage girl in Seattle, and was a total creep to a bunch of other girls at my friend's high school in Seattle. I hung out with him once my freshman year when I was still 17, and he aggressively came on to me, even after I told him now multiple times, then tried to kiss me and get me to go back to his place even after I told him I was uncomfortable. Then he tried following me and my roommate home in the dark. Piece of effing garbage." The next incident came in August 14th, 2021, where an Instagram user by the name of File Format alleges Andrew knowingly sexually assaulted his friend and got away with it. This user then claimed that 5 to 10 different women came forward claiming similar experiences with Andrew after he released his friend's story, 3 of which are allegedly underage. When confronted about the validity of the story, a Reddit user claiming to be File Format stated this: "The incident happened. I spoke with the victim after. Andrew knows what he did. Multiple women have came forward, some publicly, others are scared too, and for good reason. Look at how y'all are acting." Then a 17-year-old came forward with a similar story from this exact same time frame. This is the Navy story. "My freshman year, he, 22, DM'd, name redacted, who was 17 and asked to hang out with us. We met up with him and he brought us to the Navy base and got weirdly possessive over me, grabbing me all day weirdly and kept trying to get me alone, even though we were with a small group of all 17, barely 18-year-olds. Then me and name redacted made the decision that he was getting weird with me and tried ditching him. We took an Uber to the Willow because our friend was doing a rap show. We left and then Andrew took his own Uber to the same place. He kept going into the bar and buying me shots, then pulled me around the corner and forcibly tried to make out with me until my roommate noticed and stopped him. Then he got her to go away again and I kept telling him I had a boyfriend and he said, 'It's cool, I have a long distance girlfriend, we are open. Do you want to have a threesome with us when she comes to town next week?' And kept me in a little corner pushing me about until my roommate's boyfriend came over and tried to fight his 22-year-old ass. Then we broke away and tried to walk home, just the two of us, and he followed us by himself halfway back to the dorms until we literally sprinted and ran away from him." And that brings us to the most recent allegations that surfaced just this week. They first started when a TikTok user named Caroline came forward and discussed her interactions with Andrew. She claims she met Andrew in St. Petersburg after he had a falling out with a crew member and needed somewhere to stay. They hung out, had some drinks, and returned to her home. She said she made it clear she didn't want to get intimate and repeatedly resisted his sexual advances until ultimately giving in and engaging in intercourse with him. She speaks about how it hurt to see someone lauded as a social justice warrior in the public eye get away with what she considers sexual assault.
You shouldn't be supporting him. And at the end of the day, like, I've told close friends of mine, I've tried coming out about this before, and he texted me saying that it basically ruined his life and that his life was over now because of things that I said, and other women have come forward to me.
A lot of people came forward with stories about Andrew after this was made public. One claiming Andrew was canceled in New Orleans for presumably similar circumstances and kicked off his show Quarter Conventions that he used to host. Then someone claimed he is known in Seattle for sexual misconduct. Another claiming he assaulted a former roommate who was terrified of coming forward. And many others detailing similar circumstances, even down to the line Andrew Callaghan uses about having a falling out with a crew member and needing somewhere to stay. One of these people go by the username Moldy Freckle and alleged she was also assaulted by Andrew. After angry Channel 5 fans accosted the girl, she then took to her Instagram account and shared her story firsthand.
I'm just gonna, in brief, say that I had hooked up with Andrew previously. He creeped me out, made me feel weird, was mean, demanding. He hit me up again after this time to hang out with me again, and I said, no, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I don't want to sleep with you ever again. Asked me why. I told him why. He invited me to go out to dinner so he could apologize. I go to the dinner. He's not really talking to me, and then I'm like, so did you have something you wanted to say? And he's like, oh yeah, do you want to have sex in your car after this? And I was like, no, I don't. Is there anything else you want to say? And he was like, oh, yeah, sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. Are you joking? You really don't want to have sex in your car after this? And he asked that like probably 5 more times. Like, you're joking, right? Like, you want to have sex in your car after this, right? And I was like, no. So I told him I would take him home because he lived close by, but that I did not want to have sex in my car at all. I did not want to have sex with him again, ever. And after we got to my car, he started advancing towards me, started touching my inner thigh, and pulled me forward and started kissing my neck. So I really couldn't move out of the position. He was holding me like tightly. And he proceeded to put his hand down my pants. I told him to stop. I told him to get off of me multiple times. He tried to put my hand down his pants, and I was, fighting against him during this, told him to please stop. And he said, you could at least suck my dick. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. Get out of my car. At that point, it was, I'm not taking you home anymore. Get the fuck out of my car. And he just got mad, really. He was mad that I would even say that, but at the same time, he was laughing at me and continued to try to kiss me and was like, are you serious? Come on. Yeah, it was not fun. So I told him to get out of my car again. He wouldn't get out. And he said, you could at least take me home. So I realized at this point, I would not be able to physically push him out of my car. So I started driving quickly and erratically down the road. I pulled into a busier street and I stopped abruptly, thinking, maybe someone will realize something is wrong, or if someone is honking at me, like, he'll feel uncomfortable and want to leave the car. But I guess it did make him uncomfortable that I did that, and I told him to get the fuck out of my car. And he was like, can I at least get a kiss goodbye? And I said, fuck no, get the fuck out. He left. Never spoke to him or saw him again.
Now, I'd like to remind the viewer that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. With that said, if what we've heard thus far is true, a very disturbing pattern of behavior is emerging. Victims all over America, from Seattle to New Orleans to Tampa to St. Petersburg, are all coming forward with similar stories about Andrew. And I bet if one of Andrew's interview subjects were accosted with similar accusations, he would address them head on and might even confront them in person on camera for his YouTube channel, as he did with this convicted sexual offender in his recent This Place Rules documentary. However, in regards to his own allegations, Andrew has remained completely silent. Lastly, October 5th, 2022, I posted this on my Instagram story. It's a bit foreshadowing. And while Andrew pretends to be an unbiased good guy who stands for journalistic integrity, the true Andrew may paint a far different picture. And that concludes my coverage of these allegations. I wanted to make a clear and concise summary of them all. I believe these allegations will be swept under the rug and ignored because Andrew is damn near an industry plant at this point. Time will tell. Thank you guys for watching, and stay safe.